Hello, good afternoon. Welcome everybody to Sprosha College webinar today. My name is Anna. I'm admission advisor at Sprosha College International. And we are very honored today to welcome Ms.Mata, our Sprosha College Montessori Program team leader, instructor, and practicum coordinator. Hi, Mata.
Hi, Anna. How are you?
Welcome to the webinar today, and thank you for your time. So could you please introduce to the audience a little bit about yourself?
Sure. I've been with Sprosha almost 6 years. I started my career teaching the ECE program, and then I transferred into the Montessori program. I have about, or maybe over 21 years of ECE Montessori experience in the field. I used to have my own Montessori Daycare in Coquitlam, BC. I've been teaching the Montessori program now for 2 years, over 2 years at Sprosha. I think we've had maybe over 50 students that have gone through the Montessori program. A lot of them have been hired or in the field working already. We have the program accredited now by MACD, which is a very big bonus because students can teach with that around the world. I'm very passionate about Montessori. I've learned a lot from my students, and I'm sure my students learned a lot from me. And we're open and welcome to accept new students.
Oh, impressive. Thank you so much for sharing us about your, briefly introduce about your background. And I heard a lot of students mention with me that they love your class, love the program. So just to emphasize, the MACD accredited is the Montessori Accreditations Council for Teacher Education. So all the students who graduate and in the Montessori program and getting the certificate will be qualified to teach all over the world. Am I correct?
Yes, that is correct. And that's why the accreditation is so special. We are actually accredited as an individual entity because our program is very unique. So we offer a combination of AMS, AMI, and holistic education, which is rare. You don't find that in the field. So we're connecting AMS, AMI, and holistic education so students learn to actually incorporate mind, body, and spirit in their learning and teaching.
Very interesting. So before we moving forward to know more about Montessori program, let's us introduce about a little bit about Sprosha College. As you know, Sprosha College, we are founded in sorry. So just a little bit. So Sprosha College we found in 1903, and we are very proudly to celebrating 118 years with the rich history in educations, and we are the oldest and largest training private institution in British Columbia. And very proudly, we have monthly intake in most of the program across 16 campuses across British Columbia province. And so I do receive a lot of interest about Montessori program. However, there are still questions about what makes Montessori unique and what is the difference between the Montessori and the early childhood education. Could you have us to answer these questions?
Sure. The Montessori program is mainly based on Maria Montessori's philosophy. The base of that is that education is holistic. It's based on a triad, which means that there is the teacher, the environment, and the child, and those three work together. So the children learn from the teacher sets up the environment is also a teaching tool. Children get to explore through the environment. Over 90% of the activities, I want to say, are hands-on. So children are learning while exploring with their hands and through their senses. We promote independence. We try to encourage them to be creative, use their imagination, do things around the classroom. The difference between EC and Montessori, in my opinion, is not, some people think it's just the academic side of it, And that's not really true, because if you go back into the history of Montessori and you actually read Maria Montessori's books, she had a lot of teaching and learning outdoors. Children were doing math, language, activities like that outdoors and bringing natural elements into the classroom. So for me, the difference is that the teacher is a guide. Teachers are not there to just teach children, they also learn from children. And that's, I think, the main Montessori idea behind her philosophy.
I see. Very interesting. So what I can understand is the difference between Montessori and early childhood education is that early childhood education can understand as the foundations, and then if student want to specialize in Montessori, they will moving forward to the Montessori philosophy.
Yes, that's correct. So students would have to take their early childhood education first if they are looking to work here in Canada. And then the Montessori is specializing. So it's a specialization in early childhood education. So it's higher learning. So once you have your EC, which is your basic knowledge, then Montessori is just an extra step to give you opportunities to share more with the children.
Yeah, so earlier you mentioned about the MACT, which the Montessori Accreditation Council for Teacher Education. So what will be a different or any information that you can provide to us about also the MAS and MAI organizations?
Sure, the MAS is Montessori kind of programs that are a little bit more open and progressive, let's say. AMI are the original Montessori programs that are a little bit more structured and disciplined. There are a lot of programs out that teach just AMS, and there are other programs that just teach AMI. It is really a matter of preference and the teaching style that you would like. Our program, since I had the opportunity to create it, I thought it would be good for students to be exposed to both the AMS and the AMI, and then they can learn and grow from that. So during our program, we use strategies that are AMS based and AMI based, and we also add the holistic aspect. And then teachers, once they graduate, they can use their creativity and imagination and go forward with that. And the actual MACD accreditation will allow students to teach anywhere in the world.
Oh, interesting. Very impressive. So, which means that the Montessori program as Sparta College is a little bit more unique, which is combining the teaching style of AMS and AMI together. So that's why it's make more unique for the program.
Mm-hmm.
So I wonder, I do receive a lot of inquiry from students and future students that they are interested in the Montessori program at Sparta College. However, they would like to know more about the structure of the program and how we train the future Montessori teacher.
Okay, so we offer two Montessori programs. One is a combination of EC and Montessori. So for students who just want to come in and do both their EC and Montessori at the same time, that program is 80 weeks long. We also offer just the plain Montessori program for students who have already completed their EC and they just want to specialize in something, and they can come in and just do their Montessori training, and that's about 38 weeks long. I think the structure, our Montessori program right now, it's 5 hours a day. It runs 8 a.m. to 1 p.m. The courses are practical life, sensorial, language, math, culture, art, music, and movement, whole child, and then at the end there are 2 practicums. What makes our program unique is that it alternates theory and hands-on observation exploration weeks, which is rare. You don't find that anywhere in the world, actually, to be honest. So our students start and they have 1 week in the classroom theory with the instructor. We do hands-on activities, we explore all the materials, we try different things, we have discussions, we do things like that. And then the following week, they actually go into a Montessori center and they practice all their skills. They're right there within the Montessori environment. They work with other teachers. They teach children. They do lesson planning. They do activities, things like that. And then the third week, they come back into the classroom. We reevaluate, go over the theory, reconnect, see if they have any questions, and then they go again into the classroom, and then they come back. So these alternating observation exploration weeks are what are really unique and give our students opportunities to explore within the real life environment, because as you can imagine, it's different teaching in the classroom setting and it's different being in the real life Montessori environment.
Oh, very interesting. So I think that will be in combination of between classes, study in class and practice in the realistic. So student will have chances to apply what they learn and studies in the classroom to work to the daycare. Awesome. So I wonder what is the ratio between children's and teacher? Is that the same in early childhood education for Montessori daycare?
The ratio is the same. So for a Montessori daycare that's licensed as a group daycare, like 3 to 5 years old children, the ratio is 1 to 8, so one teacher to 8 children. For an infant toddler classroom where there are infants and toddlers, the ratio would be 1 to 4. So the ratios are the same as the ECE program. That doesn't change.
Awesome. So yes, so I saw a question here from Janet. She was wondering if we obtain any other certificate other than the early childhood education certificate by participating in the ECE Montessori program.
If someone participates in the ECE Montessori program, they will get, it is a diploma course, so they will get their ECE and Montessori. So at the end of their studies, they will receive both. So they will complete their ECE program and then do their ECE practicum and then move into the Montessori program and then complete their Montessori practicum, and at the end, they will complete their diploma.
Oh, right. Very good structure. So I hope Mata have answered Janet's questions. And if you guys have any questions, please put it in the chat box below and we can have answer your question today. So, so basically what I understand is the ratio between children's and teacher at Montessori daycare and regular daycare will be based on their early childhood educator license. Am I correct?
Yeah, that's
Yes.
correct.
So I also do have students, which is our current student and also other early childhood educator license holder having questions with whether they can work in the Montessori daycare with their early childhood educator license only.
They can work in a Montessori daycare. They just will never have the opportunities to be a Montessori directress or a teacher. They will always be considered like a sub-teacher or an early childhood educator. To actually earn the income of Montessori teachers, you actually do have to have your Montessori certification.
Oh, great. Very interesting. So if any students would like to teaching in Montessori daycare, basically they can work at Montessori daycare. However, if you want to pursue your career as the main teacher in Montessori daycare, I would suggest you to pursue the Montessori program.
Yes, you should pursue the Montessori program if that's what you are looking to get into, and if that's really your passion and Montessori is something that you are interested in, because you will get way more opportunities in real life than just trying to work in a Montessori environment with your ECE.
Awesome. So I do have a lot of receive a lot of job opportunity for our students from actually the employer from both Montessori daycare and non-Montessori daycare as well. So we usually pass this to our students, and I very happy to hear that all your students or like most of your students are getting the job offer right after the graduations. So what we do a little bit research is that there will be expecting 8,600 job opportunity opening in the next 10 years in the province, which is in British Columbia. There will be a huge number for job opportunity. And is that I heard that there will be a little bit different from in term of the wage and the salary for early childhood educator and Montessori teacher. Am I correct?
Yes, that is correct. The field is in enormous demand right now. Early childhood educator, Montessori educators are needed. A high percentage of the daycare centers here have waiting lists for children because they can't accommodate all the children that need to go to the centers. Everyone is always looking for teachers. If you have your ECE certificate, your wages could vary between like 18 to 20, $22 an hour, something like that. If you have your Montessori, because it is considered a specialty, your wages would vary from $20 to $30. It really depends on the center, your experience, things like that. But Montessori centers tend to charge more for children, they charge families more for daycare services, and they tend to pay more for their teachers.
Wow, so it's very impressive number for in terms of the salary of Montessori teacher, right? So I do have a question here from Cicada. Which campuses in BC offer this program? So currently we offer this program in Vancouver downtown campus, and probably will expand the size of the class and the program will be in more campuses across BC. And Janet has questions regarding this image. It says there will be 2 certificates that we would obtain from EC Montessori, which 2 specifically. So I think Mata will be able to answer these questions.
When you complete your ECE, you receive your ECE certificate, and here in BC, you actually have to apply. There's an office in Victoria, so you apply for your ECE license, and then you get an early child educator license for BC, and that's the one that you use to actually teach in the field. And then your Montessori certificate you will get from Sprott Shaw, and that will be stamped with the MACD accreditation. So you will have your ECE license, and you'll also have your Montessori accredited certificate.
Oh, wonderful. So I hope that Mata answers Janet's questions. And there, just to summarize, there's a huge demand for Montessori teacher as well as early childhood educator across BC and across Canada. Moving forward, I know that your student love your class, so we have invited here 2 students. So one of them is also already graduated from Montessori program, and the other students is just graduated from our program, right? So let us welcome Shelley Park and Alice Pan. Hello, Shelley.
Hi.
Nice to meet you. Hello, Alice. Nice to meet you. How are you today?
Good. Very good.
So I know that Shelley, you are graduated from Montessori program, and Alice is just graduated. So you're completing your practicum, right? So could you both introduce yourself with the audience? First, I would like to invite Shelley.
Okay. Hi, everyone. Nice to meet you all today. My name is Jinhyo Shelley. I have graduated Montessori certificate program at Scotia last year, October, with Mata. In addition, I have ECE and IT certificate. I transferred my Korean certificate to Canadian ECE certificate, so I didn't take any school in Canada. But for IT certificate, I have graduated at other school. However, high value of reputation, such as instructors, curriculums, students network, made me choose Croatia Montessori Certificate Program. And currently, I'm working as a manager at Caldus in Northpan, which is free play based. Additionally, I have a bachelor degree in early childhood education. I was a kindergarten teacher for 4 years in South Korea. Passion to study TESOL program abroad, brought me to Canada 6 years ago. Thank you.
Wow, impressive. You have a long experience in education, early childhood education field, and especially in Montessori, right? So Alice, could you introduce yourself with the audience today?
Hello, everyone. Nice to meet you guys today. My name is Alice, and I've been living in Canada for the past 20 years. After high school, I went to Kwanglan Polytechnic University for a diploma in anthropology, but that didn't really click with me, so I decided to pursue a career in early childhood education. So I completed my ECE diploma and Montessori program at Swashaw College. Yeah.
Awesome. So, as I know that you are taking both programs at the same time, right? The post-basic and the Montessori program is I know it's very busy for Alice because you are taking both programs. So I just curious, the reason why you choosing to switch your career from your previous program to the Montessori, which is totally different.
Yeah. I went into anthropology with an idea in my mind, and after 4 years of study, it didn't really line up with what I expected my life to be. So throughout college, I've been working at PNE for the summertime every time it opens. So I've been working with kids ever since then. So my parents were saying that you like working with kids. Why don't you give ECE a try? So I decided to go try out the basic program, and then I really liked it. I've been working for 5 years in the field, and I thought it's time for an upgrade. So that's why I chose Swashaw to take the diploma and then the Montessori program, because they both really interested me, especially the Montessori program, because I've been working at the centers and everything was just so new to me. All the materials they were playing with, and then I would just be the one playing with the children instead of being a teacher. So I thought to myself, oh, why don't I take that chance and just to go and learn about what I'm interested in? So that's why I chose Spashot. It gave me the chances to pursue both of my line of career, and then give me a flexible schedule for me to complete them both.
Wow, so it must be very busy for you, and I glad that that you like the program and you like Montessori, and for
Hi, girls. Nice to see you.
Ata,
Hi. Shelly,
Yeah.
I'm curious to know, since you were in Korea for 4 years and you have experience there, what are you finding the differences are between Korea and Canada? Because I've never been there, so I'm curious to see what the differences are.
Mm-hmm. First of all, I can say no pain, no gain. My experience in Korea was very tough. However, I learned a lot. I worked at private huge chain kindergarten in Korea since 2010. Last year of my work in Korea, I was a team leader for 4 years old group, which included 5 classes and over 100 children. I'm going to share my experience to what is difference between Korea and Canada as an educator. Multicultural, wage, certificate, flexibility, different school system, work and life balances. In Korea, of course, have most of Korean. And these days, it's getting more and more multicultural society, actually. So families are getting changed. But in Canada, staff and family with different backgrounds, not only where they come from, but also job career is different. And wage. In Korea, government and private kindergarten has a very standard salary band. Everyone get paid equally by experience and certificate. But in here in Canada, very competitive wage. Once I got my Montessori certificate, it was very great. I got paid more since I graduated Montessori program. And certificate is very different. In Korea, we must graduate 3 or 4 years early child educator in major, either at university or college. It is a lifetime certificate. However, in Canada, works are required in order to renew the certificate every 5 years. And facility, I worked in a huge kindergarten. So we have over 400 children. We had 6 shuttle buses, and there was 14 buses, and accepting only 3 to 5 years old children. But here in Canada, I'm working in daycare. So around 90 children and 0 to 5 years old, and there's 6 classrooms. So here's a different school system. In Korea, our school starts in March, and main teacher takes a class whole year, like not changing it. And then we do have an assistant. And the ratio was, these days I heard that it's kind of okay, but when I worked there like 10 years ago, I had a 1 with assistant and 30 children, 30. But in here, 1 to 8. And rotating staff schedule, your class, and pickup time is mostly just parents are doing it. And last thing is that I want to share is work and life balance. Main teachers had the same schedule, which is 8 to 6. Every day had a morning meeting from 8 to 8:30. And preparing big events and inviting parents. Also, parents and teachers meet twice a year. Documenting every day. Observation for children every day. Field trip once a month and overtime mostly. And holidays was my working time. Here in Canada, I can do yoga or my time. I can enjoy sunshine. So shift is a rotating and different work time and work environment.
Wow.
So it seems that you're happy that you moved here, right?
Yes.
Have great opportunities. Yeah.
Yes, and I can see the huge difference in ratios between children and teacher in Korean and in Canada. It's huge difference, and also the working hour for a teacher as well, right? And passing to Alice, since you are taking both program at the same time, early childhood education's post-basic and Montessori program, how you enjoy the program, and there will be challenge, of course, but what was the challenge and how do you enjoy it?
What I like about both of the programs is they are both really hands-on. The smaller class structures give me an opportunity to connect with my classmates, my instructors, and I get to know them personally more. For ECE, you're mainly get trained for localizing in BC because your certificate is only valid for BC area. Compared to Montessori program, right now we got accredited by MACD, so you can take that certificate to anywhere in the world. If you want to teach back at home, you can do that too. And both of these programs, they provide you with the placement of practicum, so you don't have to worry about finding that yourself. That's what I really like about it. It just takes that stress out of finding my own place. I know that I can put my trust in the school and in my instructor, so they will find me a suitable place for me to learn and study and review what I've learned in class, and then just use that knowledge that I had. The tough thing is because I'm taking both programs at the same time, so I would be, like Mata mentioned, in downtown from 8 to 1, and then rushing back to Richmond for my post-basic from 5 to 10. So my 38 weeks, because they both start at the same time, was really busy. It was tight packed. And one benefit from that is that I lost a lot of weight during those 38 weeks. And as soon as I'm done, they came back. So yeah. But that's the thing I chose about Spasha is that they give me that schedule that I can choose for myself. I want to get everything done as quickly as possible because I don't want to take one and then go through the other program and then take the other one. So that's what I chose, and it is a difficult part. But if you can get through that, then you will be at where I am right now. Just everything is completely done.
Wow, awesome. So basically that you are saving a lot of time by taking both program at the same time, and the flexible schedule will having to create you to save your time in term of study, and you will get earlier into the industry, right? And so for Shelley, I wonder, like from the beginning, why are you choosing the Montessori program, and what do you think is the value of to become an early childhood educator?
Frankly speaking, I was very skeptical about Montessori education. I thought this is very strict and not good for encouraging children's creativity due to lesson structure and materials. Looking back, choosing Montessori program as Portia was my best decision. It is high demanding job offer with high salary and up-to-date my knowledge and worldwide certificate. Apparently, I was wrong. Maria Montessori cares whole child and whole world. So, according to Maria Montessori, when children come into contact with nature, they will reveal their strength. This education brings nature and real world to children's life. Spiritual Montessori program is not AMI. That's why I love the most about this program, because AMI training is super duper structured rules that I must follow and directions when it comes to give Montessori lessons to children. Our training is way more flexible, including creative ways to guide all ears. We called provocation. Mata, my number one instructor, inspired me with Montessori materials, how I become more creative person. It affects on children's daily life right away. And it is shame to coming out. I was burned out in 2019 with very busy classroom and then misbehavior children. But later I figured out this is so advantageous to myself as an educator to take Montessori program. Now I know what I can do better for children and even for myself. So now I'm satisfied with my upgrading career. And this is worldwide certificate. That means once I go back to Korea, I would continue to work at Montessori Center or Italy, hopefully. So I want to say, push your comfort zone. You'll gain a lot of things that even you don't know or you don't even expect right now.
Great. Alice, let's bring you back a little bit too. So it's not just Shelley talking for a long time. Shelley loves to talk. Have you noticed that? Shelley loves to talk. She's the best person to be on a webinar. Alice, what's your plan now that you're graduating? What are you looking forward to doing? Have you decided if you're going to be in a Montessori center, an IT Montessori center? Have you received any job offers? Because I know a lot of the students within the program, they get job offers during their observation exploration weeks, which they can't really work, right? And I'm sure you girls know that too. And then if they don't get a job offer during their observation exploration weeks, then they get them on practicum. So where are you standing right now?
I actually got an offer halfway through my observations. One of the center that I was at for observation, they gave me an offer for being the supervisor in their 3 to 5 Montessori classroom. Unfortunately, with COVID and everything happening, my practicum got delayed, so plans kind of changed. For the past few months, I've been subbing at that center for them in case their teachers have to go on vacation and they have something emergency. I would step in, and then I went back to my practicums to finish everything off. Right now, where I am standing, they still offered me a supervisor position, but they are looking for opening a new classroom for IT. So they are offering that supervisor position once they open up that classroom. And then right now, where I'm standing right now, I'm still as a sub, just in case if they need someone, I will be the first one they call. So I do have a offer. But right now, with everything going on in the world, everything can change in the blink of an eye. So yeah. But that's the thing is that I know a lot of my classmates, including Shelly, we've been asked as soon as we are halfway through our certificate in the program, oh, do you have a job? Did anyone offer you a job yet? If no, can you work with us? And that's the thing is with this field is that there's a lot of demand. Yeah.
Yeah, that's great. Good for you.
Well, I can see students are very successful in the program, after the program as well.
Yeah.
And already, actually, Alice is got your offer during your practicum, am I correct? And or observations.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's a good opportunity for the program itself having the practicum component, which creates students a lot of opportunity to work with a real employer and their future employer. Right, and we can be successful, same as Alice and Shelley. And Shelley,
Yep.
so I wonder that since you work in the daycare as the manager, right?
Yes.
And you went through the Montessori program. So how is it different between the regular daycare and the Montessori daycare in terms of the learning material, in terms of the role of the teachers?
It's not Montessori Daycare Center where I'm working right now. However, during Montessori program, I did my observation and did volunteering for a year. So big differences are materials, classroom setting, and teacher's role, and child's independency, and more likely wage. Training staff with Montessori material when it needed is one of my responsibility right now. Besides, I'm creating new activities, combining with Montessori education. According to Maria Montessori, a child needs freedom within limits. Encouraging child's independency will bring you as a teacher huge difference during classroom. So materials, of course, Montessori materials that they are using and learning hands-on materials. We at the daycare, which is not Montessori, we're sometimes using just toys or other learning tools, not only Montessori. Most of free-based daycares doesn't have Montessori materials. And classroom setting is a very, very different, and environment is different. So in Montessori setting, sometimes the classroom is super quiet. No one is like talking. Everyone's engaging their work. We call it our work. But in the daycare, very busy, very bubbly, very, very like, woo, yeah. So we often have a dancing time, and in other classroom it's like, yeah, having like crying time, and we can hear everything very, very busy, but very wild. So, but Maria Montessori, when you hear some silence as a teacher, you're doing great because everyone is working on their work. So, teacher's role is observant in Maria Montessori Center. So, Maria Montessori said that do not tell them how to do it. Show them how to do it, and do not say a word. But in our center, we always busy to talk, and then we always say, "Oh, good job! Yeah, you're doing good." But when I visit to Montessori Center, the teacher say, "Don't kind of complimentary for everything," because then later the child came to you and then, "Look, I did it. Do you like it?" Yeah, so it's kind of not Montessori way to teach because we encourage children's independency. So most of children has a respectful attitude, and they're learning sequencings and rules. Yeah, in Montessori centers. And wage, as I said, I got promoted and then got more paid because in BC, as a Montessori teacher, get more paid. Yeah, even when they start.
So what is your advice to the future students who want to pursue their career in early childhood educations, or especially in Montessori? Shelley?
I'm gonna repeat it. Push your comfort zone. Don't be afraid. Be brave. Alice did. I did. You will get a good hands. You will get a lot of good things, and you will be happy with your salary.
How about Alice? Any comments or any suggestions, advice for our future students?
I would say be patient with the children, with yourself as well. Throughout the course, throughout your journey, have some fun. If you don't love your job, you're not going to be in this field for a long time. You have to love what you do every single day. That's the drive that pushes you through every single day. And this field in BC, just wise, it's a really small field. Everyone knows each other. So there's lots of support. You'll turn around and you might see some other classmates that you haven't seen in years. You might see your instructor somewhere else. There's tons of support. Just don't be afraid and believe in yourself. If I can do it, you can do it too, right? Don't be afraid to ask anyone else in the field. If you're doing ECE and you're in the classroom, don't be afraid to ask. And there's no questions that is too small, right? Just ask anything because we've been through that stage that you're in right now. Everyone has been through it. So we understand where you're coming from and just believe in yourself. Everyone can do it, right?
Wow. So thank you for Alice and Shelley's your thought about program and about the industry that you based on your own experience. And I learned a lot today actually, and also Mata from Mata as well from both of you. So there will be few questions popping up here, and I think we can have the audience to answer the questions. So the questions from Sorry, if someone has an ECE license outside of BC but in Canada, still able to take this course. So Mata, could you have answer this question?
Each province has their individual ECE license. So if you have a ECE license from Ontario and you want to come here, you have to submit your license to the registry in Victoria, and they will check your courses and ensure that it's okay, or maybe you need to take another course, and it works vice versa. So if you have your license from BC and you're trying to move to another province, the same rules apply. So you have to submit your license, and it's based on individual case, dependent where you've taken your program and what courses were part of that program. But a lot of students do have capabilities of transferring. Even they can just take one course or add something else to their whole schedule, and then that's it.
Yes, thank you so much. So I hope Mata answered questions. And moving to the next, after high school, can I just apply for a Montessori program, or is there any other certificate you need to beforehand? The question is from Louis.
After high school, well, you can apply for Montessori, but Montessori is a specialization. So it depends what your goals are in life. Do you just want to do the Montessori and go abroad and teach somewhere? Because if you want your Montessori and you want to teach in BC, you do have to do your ECE before your Montessori. So it really depends on what you're looking at and what your options are. Anyone can take a Montessori and go back home if they're coming from like a different country and go teach there, and then they would have to meet the teaching requirements of that country. But here for BC, you need your ECE before you apply for your Montessori in order to be able to teach.
Yes, so it's just like Shelley. Shelley transferred the license from Korea to Canada, and Shelley took the Montessori program. So that will make her to become a Montessori teacher.
Yeah.
And there's questions in the future. If you want to work with elementary school, is it possible? Mata?
That's a good question, actually. Not really, not here. Here, to become an elementary school teacher, you have to go to university for your teaching degree. So it's not, early childhood education does not qualify for that. Unfortunately, it doesn't.
So will it work for also elementary teacher assistant as well?
They don't, they used to allow early childhood educators to go into the school system, but now they have so many teachers that are on waiting lists too. So it really depends in the area, the district, and how many teachers they need. You do have a chance to apply, but you would have way better opportunities like doing your Montessori and your EC and kind of exploring that side of the field, and not going into the elementary field with your ECE license. If you really want to be an elementary school teacher, then you would really have to go into like a teaching degree. That would give you better possibilities.
Yes. So what I understand is that if you're having the Montessori or early childhood education, you can work in the early childhood education field. Is already pretty good pay, and also is good opportunity for you as well. And if you would like to pursue the higher or like a different positions, there'll be an additional education required.
Yeah, that's right. And now here in BC, the government is even funding and helping teachers. So the government pays an extra $2 on top of the wages that the centers are giving. So there are great opportunities here.
Wow. So if you have any questions, please put your question in the chat box below, just like Alice and Shelley. And we will try to answer all the questions today, or you can send us the questions in our international at Sparasha.com, as well as your inquiry, as well as your if you would like to know more about the program, our international advisor will be happy to assist you. And I'm very glad to have Shelley, Alice, and Mata here today to share with us the information, in-depth information about the industry, which I actually, before that, I'm not really clear about. And today I got actually more passion for about this industry, three of you. So thank you so much for Shelley today, and Alice. I know you're very busy with your study, your practicum, and your work, but you are already spent time with us today. So I'm very glad that you're here today. And oh, we have a questions. I heard this program include observations, and how long for it?
The observation exploration weeks are alternating. So most of the Montessori courses are 4 weeks. So you would have 2 weeks of theory and 2 weeks of observation. And they kind of go in a row, they alternate. So it's 1 week in the classroom, 1 week observation, 1 week in the classroom, 1 week observation. To be completely honest, I don't remember the exact number of weeks for the observations, but they alternate.
So do we going to the real daycare for observations? Oh.
Yes, you do go into a real Montessori daycare for your observation exploration weeks. You get to practice your hands-on skills. You get to meet other teachers, children, families, and that's why I want to say all the students get hired, because they're right there and they create very meaningful relationships with the centers, the teachers, the families there. And once they've been at the same center for a long period of time, the owners of the centers feel comfortable and they want to keep them within the center family, and that's why they get job offers so quickly.
Yes, so Alice says all the center are really supportive. Yes, I can feel that too from both of you, right? So yes, if you have additional questions, please put it into chat box or send us an email. Our international advisor will assist you with your questions. And just don't want to borrow Shelley and Alice too long, because I know you're very busy with your work and your practicum today. So thank you for your time today, Shelley and Alice again, and congratulations for Alice. You're graduated and you got a job offer, and congratulations for Shelley, and because you're now a manager of the daycare, right? And hopefully you can taking care more and more children in both regular daycare and Montessori daycare.
Thank you.
So Thank you so much for your time today, all the audience, and we look forward to seeing you in the next webinar. Thank you so much.
Nice to see you, girls. Bye.
Love you, Mata.
Bye. Love you too.